So today's topic that came to my mind was Rumi's beautiful saying, I searched for God and I found myself, and I searched for myself and I found God. This is so deep because Rumi is an Avadhuta. He he is a Sufi, but Sufis are nothing less than an Avadhuta. Who are these Avadhuts? Avadhuts are the one who have realized these both states. I am God. Aham Brahmasmi. Or like in Christianity, Jesus says, be still and know that I am God. In Hinduism, the Vedic text like Aham Brahmasmi or Shivoham or Tattvamasi. And in Sufism, Analhaq, same, I am that I am. So you can see these are all same definitions. We should not be confused. We should not differentiate any of these religions, any of these teachings. They're all the same. It's man's ignorance due to which they think they're all separate. So all these themes in all these deep religions is about searching God and finding the self, or searching oneself and finding God. It is only due to religious fanatism this has been broken down that God is outside. Its journey stops there. It's just a religious fanatism. That is why I always suggest follow the path of Avadhutas. It will be very easy for you. If you follow religions, if you follow cults, if you follow communities, this path, that path, they are all very confusing because they don't go straight to the point. They are beating around the bush. And for direct seekers who directly want to know the truth, the direct path is very easy. And direct path is path of Avadhutas. घुमा फिरा के कोई बात नहीं, सीधे सीधे बात. That is why you can see us also here, whatever we discuss, straight to the point. And I am not interested in mm, beating around the bush. So to bring everybody's attention direct to the path, I just bombard all concepts. They might be very precious concepts, they might be very precious beliefs, conditionings, but I just bombard it. Don't care a damn for it. Because when those walls are broken, you get straight to the Garbhagriha. There's the path of Avadhutas. By the way, tomorrow I'm invited by Gurukulam again to talk about the mystical journeys of Avadhuta. Gurukulam is again one path of Rishi Prabhakar ji, who was a great mystic. His ashram was the first place where I ever did my first retreat. So his very close shishya is Manoj, who's my very good friend, like my brother. This is a beautiful family of Gurukulam. They invited me first after my visits to Tiruvannamalai. And Manoj Bhai just told me that, I would like to invite you here, have a retreat here. And that is the first time I thought of retreat. And the first retreat. And then he told me the topic would be Avadhutas. We have seen your travels, we have seen you talking so much about it. And Manoj told me, I have told my team, I've taught my team everything here in the ashram. But only one subject I have not been able to cover because I do not know much about it are the Avadhutas. So can you come over? I said I'll be very happy because when his call came, I was right in front of Topi Amma. I said right in front of an Avadhuta when you're calling this. So I take that as a signal I should come. And that's how I went there. That was my first ever retreat. And after that, continuously retreats have been happening. We started with Avadhutas. So that team is, they're very, very interested about Avadhutas. I remember I was there 2 days and some of you guys were there for the retreat. You come from all over. The topic was Avadhutas, and I could see so much of curiosity in all of them because that zone is so misunderstood of the Avadhutas. See, Avadhutas, we cannot, when I talk about them, I don't say I'm the authority to even speak. हमारा तो प्रतिभर का ही नहीं है वहाँ पे. I don't feel anybody is worthy enough to talk also about them, Avadhutas. It's a different zone altogether. And it's very, very difficult to understand Avadhutas because it is a zone beyond all the mental concepts. And we are people so fascinated and caught up with the concepts. We cannot look at anything other than the concepts. We have all these saintly concepts and so much of religion and this and that, and even the damn spirituality. Spirituality also is polluted. So many things, and we look at these mystical beings through the eyes, through the lens of all those. Even we look at people like Ramana also through those eyes. Oh, he's a saint. He's not a saint. Come on. The wide difference between saints and yogis and gurus and avadhutas. Avadhutas don't come under any category. It's very difficult to categorize them because they are not categorized people. They have burned down all the walls. They cannot be caught under any concept. Any concept. You cannot even tell they are spiritual. You cannot tell they are godly. You cannot tell they are Hindu. You cannot tell they are holy. They don't even come under the holy title. You cannot tell they are the yogis. You cannot tell they are sannyasis. You cannot tell they are grahasthas. Even they might be having a family, but they are so aloof. Avadhutas may have family, but they are not obsessed with the families. They're disconnected literally from that. Like Ramakrishna, if you see, that's that's something. Where you look at your wife as your mother, that cannot be Grahastha ashram. Come on. They convert anything and everything into God. Because that's how they are beings are. So I'm not talking about beings who are limited. These are beyond. So it's very difficult. So tomorrow also when they said we'll talk about this same topic, I was thinking again, tough thing because you cannot define them. So I thought then I'll take the support and foundation of because they wanted to talk about me to talk about my journey with all the Avadhutas and all of them, literally like almost 12 of them, and I have my own experience with each of them. But I told them that rather than going by experience, because experience anybody can just talk about. My experiences I relate with Avadhut Gita. Why I treasure my experience with all these Avadhutas is not because I had a personal experience with them. It is because when I have an experience, I can relate that straight to Avadhut Gita. And I can see, wow, this is a practical teaching. So I use all those experience to teach back Avadhut Gita only. That my conviction comes from there. And it's a very widely misunderstood field, Avadhutas. Rumi is one. Like, see, if you see Rumi, you might see his post like Hazrat Rumi. And the moment you hear the word Hazrat, I've seen these people, the whole perception changes because suddenly he becomes a Muslim. Or if you see him with a turban, then these are your deadly obstacles. We cannot receive grace because we have all these judgments and opinions. And that is what prevents us from seeing truth the way it is. Seeing truth the way it is simply needs an open mind, no inhibitions at all. You have to have a simple open mind. That is why people who are religious and spiritual go only to the point of becoming spiritual and divine and holy. You cannot dump that holiness in the garbage box and move ahead. See, the moment you hear, hey, drop your holiness into the garbage, you'll like, it's a jolt. That jolt is your concept. That jolt is your obstacle. Because we have glorified all these words, and that is why we are finding it difficult to understand the thing called God. A God is conceptualized in million ways. And see the fun. All the religions, all the followers, all the believers, they have their own concepts of God, but they have no idea where that God is. They fail to have any direct experience of that God. Why? Because they are floating in their own concepts and beliefs. Remember this always, your beliefs will never give you a direct experience. Because belief, the word belief itself is a mental concept, understand that. Anything you believe means you have programmed a certain perception of how you look at things. आप किस प्रकार से एक चीज एक तत्व को देखते हो, ये आपने आपके मन के द्वारा आपने इसको रिझाया है. You have glorified it, you have flowered it, and you have stored it in your mind. So whenever anybody reminds you about that concept, you will simply bring back old memories, old belief. So if we say about God, the moment I say God, what will happen? Whatever your conditioning is about God, that will come in your head. And whatever comes in your head, that is the obstacle for you to experience. You will not be able to experience God because God is in the here and now. It is in the present. It is in the present moment. It is right here and now. And it is subjective. God is not objective. All your concepts are objective. Objective means outside. You look at something, you listen to something, you smell something, you taste something, you touch something. But something outside, whatever you come in contact with, that is objective. But the contactor, the one who is feeling it, the one who is sensing it, is subjective. So where is God? God is always in the subjective. In the direct path, please understand this very, 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 very clear. Anything objective, Ramana Maharishi ji explains it many times, is just hallucination. Whatever you project externally, and when you look at something, you sense something, you see something, you taste something, you hear something, you see something, whatever you're objectively focusing upon, that is simply a passing event of the mind. Abhi aaya, abhi gaya. It will come forth, it will disappear. It will come, go, come, go. Like thoughts. Your every thought is a hallucination. Every thought is a hallucination. Why it is hallucination? Because it's not true. It just comes and projects. You can hold any thought. Look at the thought of God, word. It is just a thought that comes and goes. But the quality of that, the quantity and quality of that word is so many. Word is same, God. But look at how many people, 50 people are looking at it. 50 people have 50 different perceptions of that God. And the moment we say God, one thought comes into your mind, and all the see, if it is true, it has to be one, right? One experience. Like if you say the sun, is your sun different and is my sun different? Whenever I say sun, we all of us are thinking about the same sun because there is only one sun. There is no two. There cannot be any concept about sun because you are directly having an experience. You know what that sun is. So there is no third party needed to define that sun. You are directly having an experience. You are feeling the warmth. You are feeling the light. Everybody has experienced the sun. So the moment we say sun, we are all thinking of the same one concept. There is no one difference here. Is there any difference? That is what God is. The reality should be one. But if 50 people are in the room, 50 people will have 50 different gods. That which differs, which is not the same, which is not one, is all under hallucinations. It cannot be true. They are only changing attributes. Like if you teach the blind about sun, जो अंधे हैं उनको अगर सिखाए कि सूर्य क्या है, you will have to tell them. They can't see. It is round in shape, it is bright, It is this in color, it produces light, and then you have to explain what is light. You have to explain what is white or what is yellow, what is golden, because they don't know anything. So how are you going to define that sun to a blind person? See the difficulties? You keep on talking and they will all perceive it with their eyes closed in a different. So if 10 blind people are sitting and you give them one explanation about the sun, they will all perceive differently the same sun in their own ideas. Can you see how what the truth is one? You're telling the same truth, but 10 people are intercepting it in their own ways. That is what religion does. Avadhutas are the one who are talking that language about the sun. Right definition, direct path. Religions and paths and cults and traditions and cultures, lineages, they define it in different manner, the same sun. So all the followers in these are not getting the direct idea, but they are getting the idea of what their leaders or what their heads are talking about. What the religious heads are talking about, that becomes their God. You can see how the religions are exploited in this manner today. All these violence and things happening because the God's definition is different. But the way in all these yugas, religion has been explained to people. The moment you go to explain God, that is where the problem happens because the explainer has a concept based on their idea of one limited way they see, that is what they're going to explain. Let's take an example of a path or a cult. A path or a cult or a community depends all on the head of the person, head of that unit, on how they attain that path and what they saw, how they perceive that God. Their perception is what is taught. Followers will listen to the perception of the leaders. Exactly like the definition of the sun is given to 10 blind men, here the definition of God is given by a filter to thousands or lakhs of people. Like the 10 people interpreted their own gods, here thousands and lakhs will interpret the same teaching in thousands of ways. There is no scrutiny here. There is no way you can scrutinize this system. There is no way you can follow up. There is no way you can enter into the minds of people and check whether they have really understood what they have been told. Thus, these interceptions are always risky. They're very much at a risk. That is why I can prove it to you. A guru talks about a teaching, one teaching, 100 people interpreted in 100 ways. I've seen this. Meaning is something else only. For example, when I started doing my live on Facebook, suddenly people caught attention. They liked the subjects because those subjects had deep clarity. Even now, people of many cults like to listen to my talks because it gives them more clarity on the same teachings which they were believing all these years, but now they have deeper clarity about it. And that appeals to people. They say, now we understand the Guru better. It is not that the Guru has said something wrong. Guru was saying the same thing. But what I got, I am trying to explain it exactly from that point of what the Guru is speaking. So when I explain my interpretation, that is another interpretation. My interpretation of the same Guru, people like to relook at things. It is redefining the same teaching in a very different way. So is it difficult for us to understand that This understanding and learning is all fake, is not real. It can change. Teachings are the same, but the meanings of the teachings can keep changing person to person, place to place, time to time. That is what I'm trying to say. Whatever the mind conceives is never accurate. It conceives according to one's own old memories, own thoughts, own programming, own conditioning, own belief system, their own cultures and traditions. So much of influence is there. Thus, the teachings get polluted. In this example, it's very, very clear what I'm trying to explain. And that is so difficult because when people are interpreting, they like the interpretation, but they can't live the interpretation because it's so raw. I like to always go to the core of the topic, core of the teachings. So if you go to the core of the teachings, it has no flowery language there. It has no ornaments there. It is nude. It's a nude teaching, completely naked and raw there. So when that is brought out, it can be so uncomfortable to the minds because I'm looking at all these teachings with my own interpretations, and then somebody is telling me it as it is, and it's too loud. It can be too uncomfortable to accept things the way it is. You see, the scriptures also, the scriptures have very deep, deep meanings. For example, Shiva, everybody likes Shiva's teachings. Shiv Mahapuran, very famous. They like it. But the same Shiva, if he talks Devi Kalotra, it's very dangerous for people. Now, is the Shiva changing? Shiva is not changing. But the truths that Shiva is talking in so many languages is all ornamental, what he's talking, because people are ornamental. They cannot understand it. You have to put it in nice, package it well. Puranas are all packaged. All the Puranas are packaged stories of potential deep secrets of life. But you can't see it raw the way it is. You can't directly understand the secrets of Upanishads because it's too raw. Whatever we talk here is all Upanishads, pure Upanishads. Shifting into awareness, whatever we talk, do, practice, it's all pure Upanishads, straight direct. Now, when that cannot be digested, it has to be presented, packaged. That packaging is coming through so many paths and cults and traditions and communities and religions and so on. It's all packaged in different ways. In what you like, demand and supply. These only become religion later. Same truth. So you can see Avadhutas are there in all religions. You go to Muslims, you will find Peer, Fakirs, Paigambars. Peer. Peer is simply an Avadhuta. They have been great teachers in Islam, in Sufism. They're called Murshids. Murshid means Guru. Raw teachers. I've interpreted their teachings also, like Khwaja Gariban Nawaz, Ajmer Sharif. Teachings are so deep. Avadhut Tattva is read. All the Hazrats have taught that. But over time, as I told you, the mediators kept talking about them, and then slowly the whole language started changing. If I am teaching something, I'm going to teach according to my beliefs, my understanding of that tree. Maybe I have understood the truth in some way, but I have understood the truth through a way, through a method, through some format. I catch that format and say, this is it. That is the problem with all the religions and paths. They simply say, this is it, failing to see that this is how I see it. Somebody else might see it in some other way. And that God has given us variety so that we can choose any language, any religion, any scripture, any teacher, any path. You can choose. Those who realize this, that whatever they choose, they are going to end up in the same place. You can say they are half liberated there only. They are half enlightened there only. Just this realization. For them, the work is very, very less because they have ripped down the main obstacles. For such people, the direct path becomes very easy. And I believe only such people come to the direct path. People who are too ornamental cannot come to the direct path. It is very offending to them. It's very uncomfortable to them. Whenever we say uncomfortable truths, it simply means my inability to let go of whatever I am holding it, my ideas about God and faith and myself. So, those who understand till here what I'm saying, and those who have no problem in giving up all these ideas, are the ones who are ready to go forth on the journey and experience that God, because you have given up the idea that God is some kind of a concept. You're looking at everything, though you're seeing how funnily everybody is interpreting the same God, at the same time, you have respect and reverence for everybody because you are only understanding it is due to their incapability to digest the truth. The Lord, the God only has given them different beautiful offerings. Look at this contradiction and conflict, how deep it is, how open and straight it is on your face. The truth is here. But just look at how difficult it is for people to understand this whole thing. It's very funny. It's a comedy thing. I can't understand this. For example, all the people who follow Sanatan, who are Sanatanis? Sanatani simply means your roots are the Vedas, Upanishad Vedas. That means, I presume, a Sanatani is totally embracing and accepting the Vedas. And nobody can deny. No Sanatani will say we don't take the Vedas. They will say we embrace. But that is also another belief. They are just believers because most of them don't even know what the Vedas. They are simply claiming this is our books because somewhere they have heard it. Vedas are the most ancient, most powerful. Since they want to become powerful, they want to be identified with something which is very powerful. They will say, I am a Sanatani and the Vedas belongs to us. But ask them what is Vedas, nobody knows. Let us say you expose the Vedas to them. Most of them know. Most of them even know Aham Brahmasmi. Most of them know that everything is consciousness. All those who have even read the basic Vedas will understand that everything is coming from one consciousness. Like in Shiva Sutras, Chaitanya Atma. Everything is coming from Chaitanya. Everything in this world has been created from one consciousness. You will see all the Dharam Gurus also talk about it. All the masters, all the gurus of all the religions and paths will talk about this, that everything came from one. including all the religions will say this. It came from one. But when it comes to real experience, they cannot see one. I fail to understand that. We are so proud of our heritage and our truths. We can't say everything is consciousness. We preach about it, we talk about it. But when it comes to practicality, we discriminate, we judge, we separate, we ridicule. So if I say I know God is one and everything is come out of that consciousness, God is consciousness, pure consciousness, and all these things are consciousness. So how long does it take for me to understand that a Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, all these people are all from the same consciousness? So they can't we see that God is brimming in all of them? No. To prove again and again, we will keep talking about, we will keep bragging and boasting about our dharma, our cultures, our knowing about God, but in reality, we do not know. That's what I'm saying. See the deep conflict that is there right here, but nobody is ready to solve that. Nobody has an answer to that. Nobody wants to even look at that question. If you believe all is coming from one consciousness, why are you discriminating? Why are you ridiculing? So, are you ridiculing your own God? Because on one hand, you're saying every atom, look at this teaching now, which all the fanatics are so proud of. कण कण में शिव है, ढिंडोरा पीटो हर जगह जाके, कण कण में शिव है. तो फिर मुस्लिम भाई में क्यों नहीं शिव दिख रहा भाई आपको? सिख में क्यों नहीं, पारसी में क्यों नहीं, क्रिश्चियन में क्यों नहीं दिख रहा, लोअर कास्ट में क्यों नहीं दिख रहा? This is the hypocritical system which we are living in. We don't dare challenge our own hypocrisy. Hypocritically following, इसको कट्टरपंथी बोलते हैं, फैनेटिज्म. छोटे मोटे नहीं, अच्छे अच्छे बड़े लोग भी फंसे हुए इसके अंदर, राइट फ्रॉम द टॉप. यू कैन से कण कण में शिव है, बट पीछे जाके सब शिव को गाली दो. आई हैव सीन सो ऑफ दिस यंग मास्टर्स, यंग स्पिरिचुअल लीडर्स, जोशीले, माइक लेके भाषण दो, कण कण में शिव है, माइक रखते ही पीछे गाली दो सबको. नॉट जस्ट दूसरे कॉम को, दूसरे गुरुओं को भी गाली दो. कहाँ गए कण कण में शिव आपके? हौसले है सब. इसलिए ढोंग से दूर ही रहना अच्छा है. बिकॉज जब तक ये सब फाकंड में फंसे रहेंगे, दोगलापन में, कहाँ कहाँ सत्य की प्राप्ति होगी? खुद असत में पल रहे हम. वी आर ऑल स्टक सो डीपली इन आवर ignorances. We talk so big about all these things, but in practicality, we are hollow. Blind followers cannot see this because they are all themselves blind. So it is like the blind following the blind and expecting great results. So I am telling, seekers of truth should go straight to the core and question these things. It is not to ridicule, it is not to pull down somebody else. I'm not saying for that. It is to simply pull down the curtains from my own mind so that I can be liberated. Why I talk this? Because I am having a role here. If I did not have this role, I wouldn't have talked about it. I would have removed the curtains of my mind, gungat ke pat khol. I would have been in my space. But today, when I am having a responsibility, so-called responsibility given, because everything is a responsibility here if I'm doing this work. There is a purpose behind it. The purpose behind teaching is to bring you the truth. Satsang is what? To bring Satya, to put light on the darkness. And this is the darkness that we are right in front of us, right here. Openly perceivable, but still not approachable. My question mark is why? If you simply answer these simple questions that I'm asking, all the conflicts will end in your mind and outside. That's it. Clarity will come. But without answering this, we don't want to clean up this big mala, this anomalitis, ego mala, which sees separation so distinctly. Anomal, strong anomal. We don't want to touch this. And we want to meet God, who's beyond the anomal. How is it going to be possible, is my question. Your own Shastras, your own great rishis talk about when all the malas go, only you'll meet God. And forget about removing the mala, we are not even ready to look at it and even acknowledge that there is this mala called anamala, or this ignorance that कण कण में अगर शिव है तो शिव को गाली क्यों दे रहे हैं हम? I am telling the sutra is here only. Remove this one barrier. You are very close to God. You are very close to the teachings of Upanishads, sacred Upanishads. How many of you know there are no gods in Upanishads, Vedas? There is no mention of any of your gods anywhere in the Vedas. There is no mention of any ism also, any dharma, no sanatan. The word sanatan also does not exist in Vedas. What do you say now? So where did these words come from? Human minds. God never created all these things. So to understand God, if you really want to understand God, follow the path of Avadhutas. I am talking the same language, what they are saying. They have no gods. They have no concepts. That is why Rumi is saying, I and God are not different. Is it any different from what Ramana is saying? What Nisarga is saying? What Nityananda is saying? What Sai Baba is saying? Sabka Malik Ek hai, he says. That explains the whole thing. And Sai Baba says, Sabka Malik Ek. The creator is only one. Ek Onkar says Sikhism. Ek Onkar. Karta Purak. Nirbhav Nirvair. What is that? There's only one. There is only one doer. Where is this difference? But you look at all the isms today, they are fighting like cats and dogs. Fighting on what? We are believer of this tradition. And what does your tradition say? Ek Onkar. Kan Kan Mein Shiv hai. All the religions are ultimately saying that Shivoham, I am only God. Anal Haq, Sufism defines it. I am only that. Kun Fayakun Fayakun. Read the meaning of, Google meaning of this beautiful song. वो जो तुझ में समाया वही मुझ में समाया. That which is there in you is the same which is in me. Kun Fayakun. Maula wahi wahi Maya. Go and read this lyrics. It's so beautiful. Sufism explains this. So what is it saying? कण कण में शिव है, वही तो बोल रहे हैं ना, इन यू इन मी, एक ओंकार ही तो बोल रहे हैं ना. Even Christianity talks, Parsi religion talks, Baha'i religion talks. God is in everyone. The same God. God is in everyone, but when that God is projected to the minds of everyone, it gets polluted because the minds are full of concepts. And when that God shines through that mind, you will see a polluted God in your head. Everybody moves with a polluted God in their head, not the purest form of God. That is why in Devi Kalatra Shiva is telling, give up all your gods. He tells very clearly they are all concepts. Vigyan Vairo Pantantra Pado. He's telling very clearly they are all your concepts. What more proof do we want now on this? Shiva himself is telling. That's a very raw truth. Direct. He's stripping away all the ornaments that we have created. Yoga Vasishtha also explains the same. Lord Rama is being taught by Vasishtha Mahamuni to give up all concepts. In Yoga Vasishtha, there is no mention of any God. So please let us understand these, all the religions have come much later. Religions are the production of human minds, human egos. Religion cannot reveal to you the real God. They can reveal you a different facet, a masked God. They can bring you different ideas about God. You can have ideas about God. Devi Kalatra explains that till you have an idea about God, you cannot know what God is. What you think you are holding on to God, you're not holding on to God. You are holding an idea of God, an image of God. The Bible, it is said, God made man in his own image. And one of the great scholars, spiritual scholar, I don't remember his name, maybe Aristotle, I don't know. He said, man made God according to his own image, which is so true. We have all created our gods according to our own image, our reflection. And we have given names to that reflection, different ideas. You remove the reflection, simply you understand and realize what is God, and that is the direct path. Direct path, Arunachala Tattva is straight going into that. One of the greatest mystics of the latest era, Ramana Maharishi, the scientist who is simply breaking all the concepts and teaching us the same truth through any language he's ready to explain. Even to the Christians, he explained the same tattva, be still and know that I am God, which is from Psalms in the Bible, said by God, said by Jesus Christ. Be still and know that I am God. That still is Arunachala Tattva, stillness. Achala. Nishchalaman. Mind becomes Nishchal, you will know God. Till the mind is Chanchala means till it is fluctuating with all these concepts in your head. God is this, God is that. Your mind will be fluctuating like the equalizer bars of the music system. शांत नहीं बैठेगा. You will give hundreds of tarange, vibrations. God is Hanuman, God is Sita, God is Ram, God is Lakshman. God is Vishnu. God is Brahma. You go on, it'll keep on fluctuating. God is Jesus. God is Allah. You call anything, it is a fluctuation because every word, every vibration is a fluctuation. Means chanchal man. You don't define God. If you just shut up and no definition of God, the whole thing will come down. It will become nischala. No definition about God. No, don't put any thought to that God. Don't define it. What happens? Nischala man. The moment you become nischala, as a blankness will appear. That blankness is samadhi. And when one is in samadhi, you are experiencing God directly. That is the meaning of be still and know that I am only that God. You return to the real self, pure, pristine self. This self, the more it goes away from the subjective, gets more and more impure. It comes into my Jnanamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Annamaya Kosha, the koshas. When it is illuminating my mind, it is only becoming impure. You look at the river Ganges, Ganga, where it flows down. You go to Haridwar. It is muddy. Ganga is muddy, dirty. राम तेरी गंगा मैली हो गई पापियों के पाप धोते धोते. Ram, your Ganga has become impure by continuously washing their impurities. Anyways, that's not what I'm talking. The river gets physically polluted by human dirt, the human intervention, human population. By the time it reaches Haridwar, go upwards towards Rishikesh, 20 kilometers from there, water is clean. You go upward again, go to Uttarkashi, it's very clean, sparkling clean. You can directly drink. Haridwar, it is impossible to drink. Rishikesh, maybe you might drink, but still you will be in two minds. But Uttarkashi, you will simply drink without hesitation, pure. Now, what would Ganga be in Gomukh, where it is originating? Purest of the pure. Purest of the pure. Maybe in Uttarkashi, you still might have your own doubt because still there is human touches there. What about Gangotri Dham? It is more purer. Go exactly to Gomukh, where Ganga is birthing, purest. You can take that as our journey. When you are very close to where the source is, that is subjective. It depends. See, you are the flow of Ganga. शिव के जटाओं से गंगा बहती है. Ganga sprouts out and it falls down. It falls over Shiva and flows downwards towards the feet. You go to the feet of Shiva, Ganga only. But where is the source? Sahasrara. It depends on where you are. You, the water. I am the water that is flowing outward. What is water? Awareness. Where has my awareness reached? Has it come to the Muladhara? Where am I? Not who am I? Where am I? If I realize I am in the Muladhara, that is my life experience. But if I realize a few steps back that I am in the Sahasrara, that is your realization. If you realize I am here, much before getting polluted, I am Shiva, it's here. The experience. I am Shiva means Shivoham. I am only God. I am only Shiva. It depends on where you are in the flow, whether you are in Gomukh or whether you are deep down here. By the time Ganga comes down, she is fully polluted. That is the same concept of the Mala. Anamal, Mayaimal, Karma Mala. We are right now in the Karma Mala, stuck in our work, full identity. Thus, we cannot realize that I am God. In this zone, you feel God is somewhere else. You don't know I am only that God. You don't know because I have flowed down till here. I have become so polluted, so corrupt. There is no ability in me to see myself. Fully polluted. Dirty, muddy water cannot see anything. It's not clear. So the whole concept of purifying this muddy water. निर्मल मन मन मैला हो गया अब उसको निर्मल करना है as you keep purifying your awareness starts moving to what level of purity that water is becoming. The more you purify, the more you travel back to the source, towards the source, till the day we become so purified, crystal clear waters, and at that state I can see myself. I can realize I am only that one. I am that I am. Here I can know I am that I am, but in Muladhara or other parts down, I cannot know because here I feel I am a father, mother, husband, wife, brother, sister. I am a man, I'm a woman, I'm an Indian, I'm a Pakistani. Dirty, muddled water. That's what I'm trying to say. Even the paths of yogis and this path and that path, they all are muddled somewhere. They all have identities. We are this, we are that. We are something. We are yogis, this yogi, that yogi. We are divine. I remember when I was working in my guru's ashram. Now you come down here, we are split in all these jati bheda, caste systems, and so much. That's the impurest level. The more you cut and see this consciousness as something, you're in a very polluted state of mind. So I went there to my guru in a polluted state of mind because I'm considering myself to be a Christian, an identity, strong identity. And of course, all the souls around also are looking identity people because all are impure. All are saying, I am a Hindu, he's a Christian. We are North Indian, he's a South Indian. We are fair, he's dark. All kind of barriers are there. And nobody can see just without all these ornaments except my guru. Because if he would have also had that ignorance, why would he call me? There is someone who's seeing beyond all these things. That's the spark of the soul. And the guru realizes that this is that spark only. They are looking at the spark, they are not looking at the ornaments. But we are all ornamental people. So that's the reason I was even able to get close to that. Otherwise, it's difficult in today's world. Imagine a Hindu, Muslim, and all these things, Christians, and then a Christian being with a Hindu guru. Oh, big chaos it is. Those days also it was chaos. Those days people couldn't understand what's happening, why this is happening. But he is beyond all that. And that's because he's following his guru very deeply. His guru is Nityananda, who has absolute no discrimination. Nityananda says, Paraya is the one who discriminates. Paraya means untouchable. In those days, big trouble of untouchables. Nityananda was outright against all caste systems, all religions. He worked day and night to bring oneness. You see, Chidakasha Gita is completely about oneness. He used to get very furious when somebody differentiated anybody on caste, religion, creed. Those days they used to say paraya, untouchable, outcast. And Nityananda used to roar. Outcasts are those who hold discrimination in their mind, he would say. Anybody who holds lightest discrimination, ye bhed, they are the outcast. They must be outcasted. They are the untouchables. They are paraya, you say. Read Chidakasha. My guru follows Nityananda, so he knows. He is a man who lives by that teachings. So I guess only he knows. Rest do not know. So many years I worked there, 7, 8 years. Very dedicated in my work. Very committed with whatever the guru's visions are. Till we could, or till destiny held us together. I was there in total integrity. Even in those days, I would never see Bheda. I could not see because my nature was that way. And that's how the law of attraction, my guru's nature is that way. So we both would feel very comfortable talking non dual subjects without Bheda. And that is why he could explain so much about Jesus Christ, which not even the best of priests in my religion could explain. Explain. Who can look at it? Who can, only the ones who can look beyond barriers of religion can understand any avatar of any religion as the same consciousness. Like Ramana explains Jesus so beautifully. My guru explained almost all the teachers, all the religion masters very beautifully. He even had the audacity to sing different religions in one bhajan. Normally, you need guts to do that. To sing Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, and then sing Hallelujah, Hallelujah in the same tone, and then sing La ilaha illallah. Only the one who has understood the ultimate truth can do that, dare to do that. Because he follows Nityananda. Nityananda is that. That's the truth. That's where the truth comes from. But after 8 years of work, and when I did and I returned back, the other ignorant who had no idea, who still have no idea about what they're doing, suddenly outraged, they started saying, हमारे पास एक अलग जात का एक आदमी था. Means there was one worker in our system who was from a different caste. Mind the words, huh? अलग जात का एक आदमी था जो लोगों को यहाँ भड़काता था, who used to instigate people here. I found that remark so ridiculous that destroys the whole lineage teachings of what the guru and guru's guru and all are teaching. Where Nityananda says, Para is the one who discriminates even slightly. And Nityananda's discrimination is not about Hindu Muslim. Avadhuts discrimination is not even discriminate anybody by gender. Forget nationality and color and caste. Not by gender. Nityananda couldn't see a male and female. Consciousness. Simply consciousness. इसको बोलते हैं कण कण में शिव है. And the people who say कण कण में शिव है, उनको उनके शिव अलग जाति धर्म भेद ऊंचा नीचा This comes from that spiritual ego, superior, rigid, strong spiritual ego, where you feel you're so superior and rest everybody is inferior. You can't see oneness. You don't want to see oneness. In fact, where there is competition and jealousy and selfishness, oneness cannot be seen. There is always bheda seen. There is always separation seen. And the more you separate, the more you're far from God, the same God that you're teaching. I believe in practice what you preach. I believe in the strength of the lineage. When we say we are linked to a lineage, we must follow and adhere to the lineage, otherwise, never take their words. Never take the name of lineage, you're insulting them. That is certainly not Nityananda Tattva. And I'm sure people have not even read the Chidakasha. They don't even know what Nityananda talks about. I'm sure we can even have open debates on what's the Chidakasha Gita about. Let's see. Not even aware of what we are doing. And that's not spirituality. That's not Gomukh. We are no doubt singing the praise of Ganga, but we are down at Haridwar or even downwards. Because if you're appreciating the Ganga at the Gomukh, you cannot see Bheda. You cannot see differentiation. And those are all very demeaning. Those are all very demeaning because the Guru has never ever spoken such kind of words. That is why he is a Guru. They never can talk or even think of these kind of things. It's ridiculous, actually. It's totally ridiculous that you can't even think of those things. Because the one who is in that state has no other experience. Like you go to Ramana and somebody asked, Bhagwan, how do we treat others? Ramana simply said, there are no others. Where does these answers come? Answers come from the state of consciousness. Wherever somebody's state of consciousness is, they speak, they act, they behave, they believe, they live from that state of consciousness. That's why I always say follow the path of Avadhutas, because they are all the time emitting only Gomukh at that state. They are delivering messages right from the source. Nisargadatta Maharaj is at the source. I amness is the source. I amness is the point where the existence begins. The Ganga is starting. Agaman hota uska. Just beginning. It is the Bindu, Meru Bindu. Kendra Bindu, the Meru's Bindu. This is the point where the creation is beginning. From there, whoever talks, listen to that scripture, that teaching. Apart from the Bindu, don't take anything else. Don't come even one step down to the Trikonals. That Bindu's teaching is I am, Sat and Chit. I is Chit, Sat is amness. I is the ego, I comes there. I am. You remove this I, what remains is am. What is am? Amness, who, hona, being. That is Shiva. Shiva is just is. When Chit comes, the awareness of that you become conscious. I am. मैं हूं. तो मुझे बोध हुआ ना मैं हूं. I am. I को हटाओ, मैं को हटाओ, हूं. There is nobody to claim also. कौन है, क्या है? That is the highest state. That is Shiva consciousness. हूं, होना. मैं हूं is that I coming, एक identity. मैं हूं शिवा. I am Shiva. कौन है शिवा? I am that Shiva. दो हो गए फिर भी. So I am is still not purest. Satchit is still not the purest, but it is the highest. It is where the Gomukh is. Beyond that is Para, Para Shiva, Para Bhairava. When even that identity goes, Sat and Chit both disappear into nothingness. Para, complete, Shunya, complete blank, Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Savikalpa Samadhi is there is knowing, there is awareness about that Samadhi at least. There is a knowing about the Vikalpa, Savikalpa. Nirvikalpa, no Vikalpa, no thought, no sensation. That's a complete state. So, what are we learning here in shifting into awareness are these two zones, I amness and amness. Ramana is teaching these both. Nisarga is teaching only I amness. He doesn't much talk about the para zone. He talks always about the I amness. And his all the practice are to go and reach to that state. That state is where there is all the concepts are gone. No thoughts, no ideas, no beliefs. Everything is gone. Only just a knowing that I am here. My home. That state is knowing I am God. मैं हूं. I am. That I am state is be still and know that I am God. That is what Rumi is explaining. I went to find God. I went in search of God and I found myself. Because I went to find Ganga in Haridwar, but all I see is dirty water, right? But that dirty water contains Ganga only. It is polluted. When you go beyond the pollution, you see pure Ganga in it. So that is what is the meaning of I went to search God and I found myself. So in the dirty water you go and search, you will find Ganga only. It is hidden, it is impure. In the red light, in the green light, in the blue light, in the orange light, orange bulbs, all these colorful bulbs, inside is one white light. But it looks orange, green, red, yellow. So myself means my identity, my colors. Different colors I've given. I'm an Indian, I'm an American, I'm a boy, I'm a girl, I'm a rich, I'm poor. मैं इस जाति का, उस जाति का, like this guy said, right? हमारे पास एक अलग जाति का था. कलरफुल बल्ब है तो कलरफुल ही दिखेगा. अभी पहुंचा नहीं है व्हाइट लाइट तक. Guru पहुंचा है because the Guru when he's in the white light he's only seeing whichever colorful bulbs are around me all have the white spark which is my spark only. The spark in me that is illuminating me as a Guru is the same spark that is in all my shishyas. And it is giving this shishya, that shishya, good shishya, bad shishya, rich shishya, far shishya, near shishya, biological shishya, non-biological shishya, all colorful hubs. But the Guru can see the light is the same light that is in me. The day we realize it's the same light in everybody, only then you have the right to say कण कण में शिव है. नहीं तो बकवास नहीं करना चाहिए अपने को. इतने सारे भेद रखे, इतने सारे कलरफुल अपने को दिखता है. कण कण नहीं दिख रहा है अभी तक अपने को. So that's where our state of consciousness is. The one who goes beyond jati, bheda and all that, they are seeing only consciousness. They cannot see another. They are only seeing the bubbling consciousness in everybody. And they speak the gurus speak to the consciousness. Whereas the ignorants are sitting with the colors. ये उस जाति का, इस कलर का, उस कलर का, मैं इस कलर का, खुद को भी एक कलर दे दिया. Understand this. Only when you make yourself colorful, only you can identify the color of other. You remove your own color, फीका पड़ जाओ, सब फीके पड़ जाएंगे. The first ignorance should come here only. If you come into Anamal only, then Maya Imal will catch you. Maya Imal is all the hallucination of colorful bulbs. Why am I seeing colorful bulb? Because मेरा bulb Anamal जिंदा है, ego. If this bulb blows up, I cannot see. Everything blows up. There is no Maya Imal, there is no Karma. So, in my search to find God, I go to temple, I go to mosque, I go to gurus, I go to paths, I go to different places. What am I going to do? What am I searching? I'm searching God. God kahan hai? Maybe it's in this ashram. Maybe God is in that guru. Maybe God is in this community. Maybe God is in that hill. Maybe it is in this river. Maybe God is in that church, in that mosque, or in this temple. God is somewhere. So everybody is running to find that God. You see, it is all full. Spiritual tourism. All are hunting for God. So I'm sure Rumi also hunted for God. He also went and hunted for God. And what did he find? What did he find? He says, I went searching for God and I found myself. There are two paths. One is you go in search of God, and ultimately, Upadesh Saram. You go into all these temples, you do all these paths and sadhanas and this and that. You do slowly as you evolve, as you evolve, as you clear, you become purer, purer, purer. You start seeing consciousness. The same thing what I said. The same consciousness that is in that is in me also. So I thought this God is in this murti, in this image, on this hill. And the more closer I went to that hill or that image or that temple or that idol, the more I got connected, the non-duality to it, I understood that same consciousness is in me also. There is no separate light that illuminates a temple and illuminates me, illuminates this saint and illuminates me or that robber. It's the same light that is illuminating everybody, and all are playing different dramas. So when I realized it's the same light, that's what Rumi says. I went to search for God, and last what I found is myself. It's me. I am in all, and all is in me. I went to search God, and I found myself. You put it the other way. I don't want to get into gods. I don't want to get into gurus. I don't want to get into any religion, any faith, nothing. I just want to know myself. I am going to turn inward, nothing outside. Neti, 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 not true, not true. All this is not true. So God is within me. That's another path, the direct path. When you go to the direct path, I want to find myself. I want to, that's what I keep saying again, right? Explore yourself. You'll find God. No need to search him outside. Search inside, you'll find. So Rumi is saying, I went to search myself and I found God. I went within and I found God. Whichever way you go outside first, you explore the whole thing outside, you will end up in the same place knowing that God is in that and in you also. So it's the same stuff. You will end up finding yourself. So you go, basically, you're saying you go outward, you will come back inward only. You go to the macrocosm searching God, you'll end up coming to the microcosm. Like Mirabai went searching for her Sham, her Krishna outside, and she ended up finding that Krishna within her. This is what Ramana says: the self, the God, the Guru are one. You went to find that Guru. You went to find God in the Guru because all these sayings are Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. So he is Sakshat Parabrahma. So you went to the Guru because you thought Parabrahma is there. You went and connected to the Guru, saying, Parabrahma, you are God. They say, no, God and Guru are one. God and Guru are one, they say. Kabir also says. But what does it mean? When you go and connect in that pursuit of God, that God is in my Guru, the most purified person, you go and connect. Slowly you will come to know, Hare, that spirit which is illuminating my Guru is illuminating me also. It's the same spirit, same consciousness. With the grace of the Guru, once you understand this, when you realize that his consciousness and your consciousness is not different, that is when the Guru and Shishya becomes one. They cannot be separate. See, when they say Guru and Shishya are one, it is not a belief. It is an experience of realizing that is the same consciousness within me and that Guru. And what is that same consciousness? That is consciousness only we are calling God. So same consciousness in me, same consciousness in my Guru, both are same. What is that consciousness? God. That is what Ramana is saying. God, Guru, and self are one. ये जिसको समझ नहीं आया वो तरह तरह की अज्ञानता फैलाते रहेंगे. Those who have not realized the truth will simply go on beating around the bush. And that's what people do today. When they say, oh, he's following another path, he's saying something else, they have not understood the whole thing. They have not understood even their own path. What they are doing also, they don't know. That's the irony. You stay with the Guru and still you can't see this one thing. My Guru used to say this very often. Diya tale andhera. Means below the lamp only is the darkness. The shadow of the lamp down will be darkness. So it's very common to see darkness right below the light. Not necessary if you are with the Guru, you are going to be bloomed. Not necessary. It depends on your approach. So we can be right there and having ignorance. What is the ignorance? Not letting go of this ego, spiritual ego. This ignorance that there's something deeper. For that, you have to look, stare into the light of the Guru, not keep boasting about that light. बात करने से डिंडोरा पीटने से नहीं होता. You have to merge in that. You have to meditate on that light. How do you merge with the Guru's light? Don't bring fancy ideas, huh? That my light will go and merge there. It's all crap. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता. I'll take my light and merge it with that. We are not playing a firecracker game here. It simply means meditating on the consciousness of the Guru and realizing that consciousness is me only. The same consciousness within me, वो जो मुझ में समाया वही तुझ में समाया. माला वही वही माया. See? वही वही माया. That's the माया. मेरे में तेरे में दो हो गया. When you understand it's the same, मैं और तू नहीं है. That is called meditating on the consciousness of the Guru. You simply meditate as one, not looking at he's up, you're down, he's there, you're here, he is illumined, I am a Agyani. Will you carry all these concepts? I'm unworthy, I'm not worthy, मेरे भाग कहाँ, मैं मूर्ख अज्ञानी, मैं गंदा, नीच, पापी, मैं दुष्ट. What are you doing when you say my papi, dusht? You are defining another new definition of a lower terminology. Anomal. पहले you say I'm a bhakta. Then you say, I'm a Agyani. Where are you going? You are going lower. You are giving more masks to yourself. We are telling remove the mask and you are adding new more. All those dialogues. So first the concepts have to be just thrown. You have to be ready to drop it like a glass. Any high or low. Any concept. When you say I am the greatest Shishya, drop that. When you say I am an unworthy Shishya, drop that. When you drop that, you simply are. When you are, just be. That is how you meditate on the Guru. And you will attain it. You will know it. Then you cannot be. See, where am I when I say I am interpreting? When people say, what you are telling, now it makes sense. Oh, we never understood. This is what the teachings was. This is very deep. This is very deep. What is deep? You stay in that consciousness, and from there you can see that truth. What even the Guru is perhaps trying to say in a very deeper way. But due to all the polluted systems or even the hierarchical systems, it gets polluted. The more you go through mediators and mediators and mediators, you're lost. Guru has come to the life so that you meditate directly and enter into the consciousness. He is a stepping stone for you. Step into the Guru and vanish into that consciousness. Into the heart of Guru consciousness, jump into that. You will be there. नहीं, और गुरु के नीचे और हायरार्की चाहिए अपने को. We want more rungs. And what are these rungs? Full of agyanta. Totally against the lineage teachings. And you become believers. Where were you supposed to go? And dive into the Guru's consciousness. Where are you? You are in somebody else's consciousness. Drifted away. Far away. And then say, Guru दिख नहीं, दूर दूर तक दिखाई नहीं दे रहा गुरु मेरा. बह गए तुम ही. क्यों? खुद पर विश्वास नहीं है. You don't have trust in yourself. You don't have trust in your Guru's word. As though the Guru's teaching is not enough for us to realize. You need 10 different people to explain the same tattvas. कितने मंद हो सकते हैं और कितने भ्रांतियां और कितने जन्म लेके बैठे. एंड दैट इज नॉट द एंड. यू विल वांट वन मीडिएटर. अब मीडिएटर में व्हाट हैपेंस? गुरु गया कहीं तो यू हैव स्टार्टेड अनदर ग्लोरिफिकेशन. कहीं और गए. एंड दैट इज नॉट इनफ. वेट. अनदर पीढ़ी आएगा, वन मोर जनरेशन, एंड पीपल विल स्टार्ट वर्शिपिंग दैट ऑल्सो. यही करते रहो. जन्मों जन्मों तक यही करते रहो. एंड मोर मीडिएटर्स, मोर इंटरप्रिटेशंस. और एक नया वर्जन लेने के लिए तैयार हो जाओ. As though one version, separate version was not enough. Now take more different versions, polluted versions. Don't strive to meet Ganga at the Gomukh. You keep wandering towards Haridwar and down, where Ganga becomes more dirtier and polluted. Jao, bahte jao. And then you say, Hum bade bhakt. We are very loyal bhakt. You are loyal, but where are you? You have gone flown far away. You have gone very far in the loyalty ke chakkar mein. Why? Simply because you are not ready to take the direct teachings of the Guru कि गोते लगाओ, सीधा jump. You are still stuck with the fanatism. Some chalo, they don't go to these hierarchies. Okay, understood. But they are stuck with the Guru's consciousness, the Guru's body now. They are not diving into that consciousness. They are like the bumblebee hovering around there only. Parikrama लगा रहे उधर. Fascinated with the Guru's body. Are he's telling jump inside. So wait. We're so fascinated by this. We love this moha. बिकॉज आदत है ना, दुनिया में यही करते आए हैं. कभी बीवी के पीछे घूमे, कभी बच्चे के पीछे घूमे, कभी पति के पीछे घूमे, कभी उसके पीछे घूमे, कभी उसके पीछे घूमे. जब अध्यात्म में आया तो गुरु के पीछे घूमो. वी आर लाइक द बीज, सिंपली सर्कुलेटिंग एवरीवेयर. देन दिस हैबिट स्टॉप्स. of circumambulity and diving deep into that. You should become like that fly which is attracted by the flame. कभी इस flame के पीछे गया, कभी उस flame के पीछे गया. It is hovering, hovering, hovering. You must be like that fly that jumps into the fire and destroys itself. You become the flame. खत्म. That is why people are scared. मर जाऊंगा मैं इसके अंदर गया तो, अस्तित्व मिट जाएगा मेरा. I will go. आणोमल मिट जाएगा. People don't want that. They want to have some experience. नहीं, हम फलाने ढिमकाने योगी, हम ढिंडोरा पीटते रहेंगे, हम बैंड बजा बजाएंगे. We'll burn crackers. We'll make all the show offs that I am the greatest bhakta of my guru. We are devotees, we are disciples, we are followers. यही बैंड बजा बजाते रहेंगे, यही घूमते रहेंगे. किसी को आणोमल नहीं मिटाना है. That is the direct path. You come to Ramana, he will burn. You go to Arunachala, it will burn that. Arunachala is that like flame, and we are like the flies that will disappear, be burnt. Arunachala is known as the destroyer of ego. So that's the beautiful teaching of Rumi is trying to say. Rumi is an Avadhuta. I went to search myself, I found God. I went to search for God, I found myself. Are these things so difficult to understand? We have only complicated all these things. What I am telling is so straight. If you even repeatedly listen to this twice or thrice, in total focus, you will want to just merge into that. You will not have any interest to get stuck here and there. If you get this whole thing, you are straight on the direct path. Without that, you will be hovering around. So I'm telling this hovering thing is a big challenge, right from top to bottom. What is top to bottom? Bottom is all this hovering around religion, hovering around cults and traditions and cultures, hovering around different beliefs. And then when you rise above all these things, slowly, slowly, slowly in the yatra, you keep rising, you keep discarding, everything keeps falling. Finally, you will come close. If it is that Ishta, you will start hovering around the image. One image will be there outside. Outside का अगर मिट गया, मूर्ति पूजा अगर हट गई, then that murti will become inside. Your Shiva will be inside. He will be in the form of an image inside. Shiva, Parvati, or Ram, or whatever. The Tattva, it will be an image. That is still a Gyanta. Now we are hovering around that image. So, or Guru. First Guru body. You will be hovering around the Guru physically. Once you grow deeper, that inclination towards the body will go. Then you will hover around that concept. Your image will be there inside your head. You will always, wo bhi wahi hai. It is a fly only. Still not complete. The day even the mental concept goes, even that thought, that idea goes, you are on the direct path. That is grace. Advaita Vasanam Ishwar Kripa, says Avadhuta, Bhagavan Dattatreya. Advaita Vasanam Ishwar Kripa, by the grace of God, you will want this Vasana of Advaita. Advaita means no other, no concept, nothing, pure one, non-dual, pure consciousness. Not even me to realize consciousness. It is simply only consciousness. I am consciousness. Straight, that is non-dual. That can come with Ishwar Kripa, Advaita Vasanam. So all the people who have Advaita Vasanam, who are ready or who are striving, see, we might have our challenges. That's all different. Based on our karmic structures and this and that will go eventually. But those things will be there. But the Vasana is there. If there is a deep Vasana to realize that one, please understand that's Ishwar Kripa. Always bow in gratitude to that. You will enhance. Whenever you remember this, and you will see from inside, oh, I have this deep Vasana to realize this one. I am so grateful. If you bring this bhava, I'm so grateful, which the millions are not having, billions of trillions of people are not having. But very rarely I am having this Advaita Vasana. You sit there and connect with that bhava and fall in love in gratitude. वही तपस है, वही साधना है. A sense of gratitude, धन्यवाद का भाव. I'm so grateful to have this vasana. It's like thanking that God within. That will multiply that grace. Ishwar Kripa will multiply. This is the direct path. इधर कुछ करना नहीं है और. It is not about ये करो, वो करो, पूजा करो, पाठ करो, ये करो. Nothing. Straight come to this point. Straight sit with yourself. Give up all the concepts. Throw everything. Just drop everything. And simply remain with what is remaining. For that, you catch any rope and go. You catch any salamba. You catch the rope and salamba means any techniques. You catch the breath पे, श्वासों पे ध्यान दो. हाँ दो, देना है तो दो. जरूरत नहीं है, लेकिन अगर इतना मुश्किल है, अद्वैत में जाना है तो पकड़ो एक चीज को, श्वास को पकड़ो, मंत्र को पकड़ो, गुरु का इमेज को पकड़ो. बट पकड़ने के बाद विलीन हो जाओ उसके अंदर. श्वास को पकड़े तो श्वास के साथ एक हो जाओ. चित्र को पकड़े तो चित्र के साथ एक हो जाओ. मंत्र ध्वनि नाद को पकड़े तो उसके साथ एक हो जाओ. बिकम वन विथ वट एवर you are holding on, that concept. Then that salamba will become nirlamba. You jump into that. You have to dive into that. And please know, whatever you're catching, you catch in the start to make you disciplined. But the moment you are coming there, drop it. That's the whole sutra. Don't hold on to that, because that which you are holding is not God. It is the closest form of God. It will take you to that God. That's why Guru is the closest form of God. He is not exactly the final God. He is like God. He is a reflection of God. So you have to, that is called merging in that whole spirit. Okay, it's 10:45. 10 minutes. Let us just become aware and practice of what we have done, so that you understand what we are talking about. Can you just become aware about one particular thing? Whatever is your favorite. It might be an image, it might be a mantra, it might be your breath, it might be your body, it might be the space in the room, it might be the space in your body. Whatever appeals, only one thing which is close to you. It might be your breath, श्वास पे ध्यान दो. It is God consciousness always blesses. If you're able to connect with this God consciousness, that's grace. Whenever you're able to connect, always hold a feeling of gratitude. If anything illuminates your mind with wisdom and you become aware of it, bring in the sensation of gratitude all the time. With this, what you do is you're activating bhakti. Gratitude is bhakti. You are directly experiencing God and feeling thankful to it. It's an act of silent, deep communication with God consciousness without words, just the feeling of gratitude. Always feel grateful for this grace working in our life. Always hold very deep gratitude, a thankfulness that it is illuminating my spirit, awakening my deep sense of reality, every single day, every time I practice it, taking me closer to reality, to God. Keep thanking this direct grace. That is how you communicate with the God within. Gratitude is a very deep communication. If that can bring you deep emotional states, let's say tears, overwhelmed feeling of emotions, know that they are signs of deep grace. Being emotional is devotion. Jnana and devotion must go together. Any jnana you get from anywhere, when that illuminates your inner being, when it gives you deep inner light, immediately bring a sense of gratitude. Don't say any words. Don't say thank you and this and that. Just the feeling of gratefulness for that. You'll see deep bhakti getting activated. That is a powerful combination of jnana and bhakti. Jnana and bhakti comes together. That is pure God consciousness. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadayachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we all be blessed. May we all evolve. May we all be free. Avadhuta Chintan Shri Gurudev Datta. Arunachala Shiva.